Shaun Pelayo. What would you say the main differences are between living in the UK and living in the Philippines?
So many, man. The biggest thing is the fact I'm making a difference for my people as well and putting my island on the map. She has to test your manhood. Like, she has to like grab your balls to see if you're worthy. She's the last living traditional artist that used to tattoo like real warriors and stuff. And like for me, getting a tattoo part was a dream. The video did like 25 million views across platforms, Instagram and TikTok. And that one post got me 70k followers on Instagram and 100 and something K on TikTok. Just relax and just be happy in that peace. I'm not really chasing it anymore, I'm attracting it more.
Yo, Curtis.
Today I'm here with none other than Shaun Pelayo, who is an actor / model / traveller of the world, as it seems, because whenever I see your Instagram now, bro, or your TikTok or the socials that you're all over social media on, you're no longer really in the UK.
No,
talk to me. What's going on? Why did you leave the UK? Why are you leaving the UK? And why are you going what you'd call back home?
So it's really actually, first of all, it's really nice to see you again, bro. And it's a long-winded answer, bro. Like, I just feel the current state of the UK, especially with a lot of the stuff that's happening right now, I just can't see myself being here. I don't think I was ever like genetically designed to be here either. Like, I belong on an island. Like, that's where my family are from and everything like that. So me visiting there last January, opened my eyes to everything. And then going back there as an adult as well. And now I'm in a position where I can monetize from anywhere in the world. And I've got a purpose there, got a home there. So if I base myself out there, the cost of living's way less. The standard of health and your lifestyle is way more. It just makes sense to me to be there. And like, what better time than now?
I think a lot of people would like to be in your position where obviously you can monetize from anywhere in the world. And I don't know about anyone watching at home, but I've got the same views as you. If you don't have to live in England, why on earth would you?
Yeah.
Especially with how things are now, like you said, cost of living. There's a lot of things going on that we just spoke about that we won't touch on while the camera's on.
Anyone, yeah.
But no, I think you're absolutely right. Where you're from and the place that you are moving to, it just seems so much more free.
Yeah.
You seem so much more free.
Definitely, bro. Like, it's even in small things. Like, I got back to the UK 2 weeks ago, just to fly and visit. Yeah, sorry. I got back to the UK 2 weeks ago on a fly and visit, and you have to insure your car. That's like, for a month, it's like £100, depending on whatever
if you're lucky.
Yeah. Just for a month. Then you have to pay ridiculous money for your tank up. Then you're watched by cameras everywhere you go. Then the food's crazy prices, and like everything just builds up, and it's like you're constantly being surveillance, and it's not free. As opposed to when I'm there, £5 to fill my bike tank up. You don't need a license. You don't need insurance. You don't need tax. You're free.
You don't need a license?
No, you don't. Well, you need a license, but no one's going to pull you over. And if they do, they'll just say like, like, I don't even know what they'll say.
They just don't pull you over?
No, they do stop checks randomly, but it's not really for that reason. You know what I mean? Because it's a 0% crime rate on my island, so no one really takes the piss, and everyone respects each other.
What's your island called?
Siquijor.
Say that again?
Siquijor.
We're going to have to subtitle that.
Yeah, it's like Siquijor in the Bisaya region. It's actually called Isla de Fuego before, like Land of Fire, because when the boats used to go past, it used to be so many fireflies. It looked like it was on fire.
Wow.
And then, obviously, like, just through time, it's called Siquijor now.
Okay, let's go back to the start of your journey and where you grew up and how you got into modelling, acting and all of that stuff. But before we get there, I want to know where you grew up and obviously your background in terms of the UK and the Philippines.
So it's like a very unique perspective I had in life, because I grew up in the UK, like the poorest of the poor. Like, my dad was on benefits, my mum was an immigrant. Grew up in a tiny little flat with me, my brother, mum, my dad, in Cornwall. And then we'd spend like year or 2 years in England, and then we'll go back to the Philippines for a month or two. And obviously the pound goes so much further out there. So out there would be like live a bit more of a better life. And then, so it gave it like a really unique perspective. And obviously in England, in Cornwall, it's all white area. So I was the only little brown boy. And then I go to the Philippines and I'm like taller than everyone else with a different like facial bone structure because of my dad's side. But I was always like, it was like an outsider in both places, but in a positive way. Always worked in my favor. So yeah, grew up in there, but I always grew up in a Filipino household. Like I was very close to my mum and the community. There's a Filipino community. So I didn't miss out on anything. We still had the stuff that's been in our culture. And then, but then when I turned like 17, I think 17, 19, around that times, that was the last time I went to the Philippines. And then I was living in Midlands for like 10 years. And I went there for the first time as an adult when I was 30. And then I was just like, yeah, I was supposed to be there. But everything happened for a reason. So I built myself and my career and established myself in the UK with the modelling and acting and everything like that before I left, which gave me like all the skill set I needed and everything for when I got back there. So I believe in like everything happened for a reason and stuff.
Of course. What came first, the modelling or the acting?
Modelling.
Can I talk about it?
Like, it wasn't an accident. I tried really hard, man. Like, 'cause I used to work in schools. Like, it wasn't like I got scouted. Like, it took a lot, bro. Like, so I worked when I first moved to the Midlands, I was working in schools with kids with behaviour issues and stuff. And I remember I was watching X on the Beach with my then partner. And then we seen a certain guy who was like a superstar. And he just, like, because X on the Beach back then used to be big in it. And then they used to, like, come off it. Then they'll get, like, paid to go club appearances, like wear clothes, like before influencers was a really thing, they kind of made it a thing. And
I think with the influencer culture back then, it was like everything you once paid for then became free.
Yeah,
it was all given to you, and then it's like you're getting all this money to have this stuff for free, and then you can't spend money on anything anyway.
Yeah, it's
Do you know
strange,
what I mean?
isn't it?
Yeah,
especially at the beginning when that's all you want. And I seen a guy and he resembled how I look on TV doing that, and I was like, whoa, I could do this. And then I just work really hard towards it, trying to build a following, trying to do every shoot for free, outreach every day, like whilst doing my normal job. And it took me about 4 years to have my big break. And I also picked up, like, when I left working in schools, I worked in an agency for a bit. Then I picked up videography and I used to be in the club, like doing club videos. Then I started doing like rap videos for like every rapper and trapper in like Birmingham and London. And then I started doing just club videos videos for like tattoo shops, hair salons, everything, just because it's good money in it and it kind of funds me with the modelling. And every time I thought the modelling was taking off, I would just go dry for a little bit. And then I went through like a typical thing, like a heartbreak. And then that kind of just pushed me and motivated me, like another little thing. So then at that point, there was a really big agency in Manchester that I really wanted to get with, who all the models they represented with my look were doing like the biggest brands. And I thought if I can get with them, then I can just, I'll be made, then that would be perfect. And then after that breakup, I kind of lost a bit of size because I was doing loads of press ups at night instead of like, you listen to sad songs and shit. And then, and then like, I was like, I've got to do this. I started messaging all these people and I got myself a cast in there. And I went in there and I just started speaking with so much passion. And the lady was like, half the team like your hair, half the team don't. I had to tie my braids. They're like, do you mind cutting it? So I cut my braids off. And then my career just started like just excelling really fast after that. And then not long after that, I was still like, I wasn't popping still. And then I had this one big brand through another model that I know, put me onto them in Amsterdam. And then I came back from that, then another big brand. And as soon as you have that behind you, then I remarketed my page. I took all the smaller ones after the last 4 years. And I made myself just look more of more prestige, if you know what I mean. And then from there, I just never looked back. So that's been like, I think I always say 2-3 years, but I think it might be approaching 4 years now that I've just been like, tick, 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 tick. And then it just like everything starts to tick, like everything that you ever dreamed of is real. It's crazy, like when you actually experience it, but then you achieve it and you want new goals and stuff like that, which is like, I achieved everything I want to do in the modelling industry here in 2021. 2021.
Everything.
Oh, there was one that I didn't, but I found it hard to like come to terms with, I didn't want to do that goal anymore, but I felt like because I wrote it down, I should do it. But I spoke to someone else and they were like, if you have a Yaris when you're a kid and you dream of doing that up, by the time you're like halfway through doing it, you probably have a new dream of having a Lamborghini, if you know what I mean. So that was the metaphor they used, and I was like, that's true, man. I've kind of done other stuff that was bigger than that initial goal, but I was so dead set on going back and doing that goal. But there's only one that I didn't do, which is this specific brand. But yeah,
that we're not going to talk about now, obviously, because you don't want to give them the free promo.
Yeah.
So at what point of this did acting come into it then?
After I achieved everything with the modelling, I was like, and I think it's kind of a natural progression with because it's kind of like you get a little bit of head start because you're aware of all your angles and you're aware of how like sets kind of work. And then I just wanted it bad because I wanted a new thing to chase with it. And I did the same thing. Like I remember when I first, because I've got no one ahead of me, no one to lean on that I can ask for advice from.
You was the first to kind of take that
so I was just like, no drama school background, no theatre school, anything like this. So I just started ringing on Google, like random directors and stuff. And then I just randomly started doing extra work. And then you put in the right place at the right time and speak to the right people. Did so much stuff. And then you have to get on a platform called Spotlight. And to get on Spotlight, you need to get in like X amount of credits. And then to get them credits, so you need to be an actor. It's just like a chicken and egg, what came first type of thing. And you just have to keep plucking at it. And then I finally got an agent, got all my credits, got on Spotlight, and then I started getting the big opportunities. And I recently done that. Then my first American role, which was cool, which was at 5 Pounds of Pressure. That was like, I had like 7 lines in that, but that's like a big movie, so I was proper gassed. I was speaking lines in it. Had like my own like waiting, like a trailer room. Had like an accent coach, a driver. It was sick. Then I did my
Did you have to do an American accent for that?
Yeah. But it's mad because again, I just quoted. Do you used to play Def Jam?
Yeah.
I just quoted them.
Yeah, fair enough.
And like 50 Cent and stuff, and they were like, "Are you going for African American?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's sure. I am." So that kind of worked out, and then I just did like, and I did had a few lines in Hollyoaks before I left, and then what else did I do? I did Boy in the Corner, which is an Amazon film. That was my first main role. That was sick, and yeah, just like loads of small features and things like that. But with the acting stuff, I know it's a forever thing, so I don't have to squeeze all my... With modelling, I was aware there's like a time when you can't model anymore. With acting, you can keep going forever, so I'm not... That's kind of like it's not at the forefront of everything I do.
Yeah. It kind of goes hand in hand, I guess. Like you say, there's kind of an age limit on modelling as such.
Yeah.
But once you get to where you want to be in the modelling world, that kind of will go hand in hand.
Yeah,
with being able to outreach to the bigger directors and the bigger films, I guess.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that?
I think so. I think especially like if you look at like rappers and comedians that are just huge and they can easily just go into the acting world. So I suppose the same. There's a few famous female actresses that were models first. That because
have you watched Supercell?
No, not yet.
No, okay, no. Watch it. It's really good.
Yeah, I heard.
But with what you was just saying, like obviously Digger D's in it.
Yeah.
Gets is in it. And I watched a podcast of Rapman talking about Supercell, and he was saying how Gets and Digger D were so open to learning, even though they're big in their industry. They had to audition. They still had to audition for the role.
Yeah.
And they was really focused on learning how to become a great actor as well as it. So I reckon it does give you a little sidestep through the door, but I think you still have to know what you're doing and still have to learn that industry, kind of.
But I think if you're going to be like someone like the Gets or someone like that, that's the top of your industry or like known and skilled talent in the industry, then you've got to be someone that's so disciplined and have all the attributes of a superstar. So then them type of people, they can put that into anything.
100%.
So if it's acting, they can just throw themselves and dedicate their lives to it like they did music. Because even like, like Cadet in Shiro Story was sick, man.
Brilliant.
Like, people, I think there's a lot of them. That's sick. Even like Eminem and 8 Mile, but like, that was sick acting, in my opinion. I don't know.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was. Like, you look at him like, that 8 Mile almost seems so real that it's not even a film, if you like. It's just like, it's like they've caught Eminem in his element. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like a film. Yeah. It feels like his life, which is then, you're doing the job right.
Yeah. They think some films like that are sick, that are just like, they change a whole narrative or something. Like, everyone wants to be battle rappers after that. And like, like films like Step Up, then everyone wants to be dancers. Yeah. It's sick, man. Yeah. When they got them films that are just so impactful and powerful. Yeah.
What's a goal of yours that in the acting world that you'd like to achieve?
I wrote one in 2018. I want to be in a movie with The Rock.
How cool would that be?
Bro, that'd be sick. And he did that Fast and Furious.
I could
when he
see
went
that,
to,
Yeah, like even
just just like playing his like long lost cousin or something, I don't know, or just in a prison scene with him or something. I think it'd be sick. And I just because I wrote it down now, and it's something that like I want to manifest. And I think it will happen one day. And I can imagine when I'm on set and stuff, and I'll tell him, I'll be like, bro, look at this. I wrote this down in 2018.
Yeah, we'll show him this clip.
Yeah, innit?
Yeah. So, how old are you now?
31.
Okay. A minute ago, before we started the camera rolling, you mentioned when you turned 30,
Yeah.
something changed for you, and you went back to the Philippines.
Yeah.
And I don't know, was it an epiphany? Was what happened?
It was a few things. So the last time I was here, we spoke a lot about, with the whole left ring, right ring, red pill, blue pill thing. And I think that was a big factor. It was just post, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word anymore, but like post-COVID. I don't know if it's going to make the views
No,
fuck
you
up.
can say it.
Yeah, like, and it was like the whole
We just
nation
won't
was
turn
kind
it
of...
to short form.
Yeah, yeah. The whole nation was just divided then. And then it was like everyone that's like kind of pro-masculine and just on normal stuff versus the other stuff. And I found that like, I was trying to just word this really well without offending anyone. And I found that this side, I was listening to a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. And then I turned 30 and I was like, you know what, it's time for me to just take making money seriously and start business stuff. And I was very influenced by this and I was like, I need to do X, Y, and Z. So I did a few things out of character, which looking back, it's easy to say now, but in the moment, it was like, I felt that's what I needed to do. I was like, I can't be a model forever. Let's think of other stuff. So then that's when I started, me and my business partner at the time, we started a media company.
I remember seeing that on your social media. You had a little office with the whiteboard and
Oh,
stuff.
it was sick, man. And we had like good clients. We had like a status company. We had like a few other ones. But for me, it was just like, it's not me going to an office every day. It's not me to like go back from living this free life of being a model, do everyone I want and being happy and stuff to now I'm trying to be a millionaire. So, but although the money's good and stuff, but then I'm answering to someone again. So I might as well just had a job again. And then, so I kind of like been in the media journey, started that. Then I was kind of like, no, I'm not doing it. Especially because I climbed Kilimanjaro. So when you're doing that in Africa, like you have like a week without any phone or anything like that. So you just in your only thoughts. So imagine like 7 days of just walking up a mountain.
Yeah.
And you're just like thinking. Every night you go to bed, you're just thinking. And I was like, came to all these epiphanies, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So then we started a headwear brand. And then that's like e-commerce, and it's like you have to talk to shippers and this, and you have to try and make sales, and then you have to like when you make the sales, you have to post it ever. I'm like, that's not really me either. I kind of wanted the end product without all the middle bits. So I've got no passion for it. I don't want to wake up at 4 a.m. and care about something like that, as opposed to my actual career, which I do care about. And then even as far as like I know Amazon FBF, everyone was making peas off that. So it was like we did the course, we learned how to do X, Y, and Z. And the product was gonna do was like period pain relief heat patches, and
I've seen them.
Well, and then like because it fits all the categories of how to make the most money because of the delivery, blah blah blah. I was thinking like, what am I actually doing, man? I don't really want to do any of this. And around these times, I'd not long come back from the Philippines. I was like, that's what I belong there. And then I found my purpose out there. And then, but it was just turning 30. I don't know if when you turn 30, did you feel that like weight on your shoulders? You feel like you need to. I don't know if you felt it. Did you feel
100%.
it? Yeah.
I feel like since turning 30, I've gone up 3 gears. Like I'm just on it. Like whether it's business, the things that I like doing, family life, the next step in life, I'm just so much more. I think about it a lot more. Whereas like 28, 29, I'm thinking, everything will be.
Did you think you was going to change your mindset when you was 29? When you was like turning 30, like next week, you're like, oh, it's just a number.
Nah,
Or
but I
was you
did
aware?
think like, shit, I'm gonna be 30. Like that's a mad age.
Yeah.
But then people say that life starts at 30s, and 30 is your 20s, but with money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and I can kind of agree to that. Like through my 20s, I was trying to navigate and build things, and I'm still trying to build things because I'm just a crazy entrepreneur. I just love it. Like I love getting into the depths of business and seeing where I can make a little pound coin there, and how does that business work, and how are they turning over that kind of. I just love that. So I think I'll always be that way. But yeah, when I turned 30, I was like, shit. I've got to cut all the stupid things out. Everything that I was doing that is probably never going to go anywhere. All the little things that I like doing, but I can't really see a future in it. All of that's got to go. Yeah. So, and then I think it was probably like 3 weeks after I turned 30, someone turned around to me and said, "Oh yeah, you're 30 now," and I was like, "Poof,
Yeah.
I am
When you're a kid, you think, yeah, when I'm 30, I'm going to be like,
made."
yeah.
Yeah.
You have such like a matrix mindset. You're like, I have 2 kids, a house with
Yeah.
No, I'm like, nah, man, I don't know.
Turning 30 is it is a big weight. I think it is a big weight on the shoulders to
weird though,
achieve
innit?
things.
It's a weird thing, but I don't feel like physically. I don't feel like I feel like I'm anti-aging, man. Like I dunked for the first time last month since I was like basketball. Since I was like 21.
I thought you meant
22.
like in a pool.
Oh no, like, but yeah, I don't
Basketball
feel.
was quite a big part of your life, wasn't it?
Yeah, massive, and that was my whole entire existence from like when I was a kid till like 22 when I stopped playing, 23 when I went to that team. But that was like huge, bro. That was like all my work ethic and everything came from. But I was exactly saying back then, like all my goals in basketball, I wrote down and put in the back of my door and just worked towards them every day as well.
Yeah.
For like, I heard this quote the other day and it says like, depression is when you live not in your purpose. And I feel like if I didn't have a purpose,
I saw that one.
yeah, and I feel like it's so true, man. Like in that I'm not saying I was depressed, but in that time when I just turned 30 and I was like trying all these different business ventures, I wasn't in my purpose, and that was the reason I was like not as happy. Not that being happy is like the goal, but yeah. I heard another quote that said like, it's not about the pursuit of happiness, it's happiness in the pursuit. And I feel like when you've got a purpose and you're pursuing it and you're happy doing that, that's when you're really living. And I think that's the stage I'm at now. And being at more peace with where I am.
Yeah. I was talking to Michael the other day and I was saying to him, like, obviously we've got crazy goals. I'm not going to go into it too much, but crazy goals in what we're doing. And I said, like, we've done something really cool over the weekend. And I said to him, this is what the happiness is. Like, we need to understand that what we're doing right now, developing, is the fun part.
Yeah.
It's the part that we're going to look back on and say, oh, that day was really cool when we managed to do this and we was doing that. So yeah, that's literally that quote of what you just said.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to live in the moment. Sometimes we get so lost on focusing on what we want and get like you was doing with the e-commerce
all that stuff. Yeah.
All you wanted was the money. We get so lost in that and not thinking about how important just sitting here right now is.
Just being present.
Like, this podcast it has just started.
Yeah.
The views aren't huge yet. They will be because I enjoy it and I'm passionate about it. Mm-hmm. But this is the fun part. Sitting here and just having this conversation.
Because one day, when you're like peed off differently and you've got people like David Beckham and like just the maddest people sitting here.
Yeah.
And you're going to reminisce about the times that you was here. You'll be sitting somewhere like, I don't know, LA or something crazy. Mm-hmm. And you'll be reminiscing about these times. Me and like, that's what my journey with my best friend, like Troy, our journeys together, it's so like you've got each other, like I've got that with someone, and it's like to share the journey of someone so you can reminisce. Like I was with him yesterday helping him move because he's moved to the Philippines with me, and we're speaking about the importance of memories and the importance of stories, and that's all we've got. Like if I was to die today or whatever, if we got locked up in a room forever now, I've got thousands of stories I can just tell. And when you meet people, there's like common ground you can relate to. Like, oh, you've been to space. Oh yeah, I went there with these people. And there's like, I think the importance of having their memories and stories and stuff instead of just being stuck working for something you don't want to work for, and you're stuck in that 40-40 scheme. And nah, that's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me either. I've got to be doing something that keeps my brain going and something that I enjoy doing. I feel like if I wasn't doing something that I enjoyed doing, I personally would be manically depressed.
Yeah.
I have to be doing something that I love to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're doing something that you're going to love right now, and that's moving to the Philippines.
Yeah, well, I moved in Jan, didn't I?
Yeah.
But I'm just back here visiting.
But you're permanently moving there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Why did you feel that you should move back to the Philippines? We'll start with that question.
Why is because the state of work, the UK now, and I'm very much like guided and fated, and every sign and omen that I got was telling me going to the Philippines is the right choice. Everything just led to me being there, and I was reassured. And then when I was there, when I found the purpose that I found when I was there was like, in the Philippines, they very much promote all skin whitening products, and they promote like K-pop, and they feminize men a lot. So if you walk through the shopping malls, you see these people that in the Western world would kind of look as like soft. And I was thinking, like, why is there no one out there? Like, my skin tone out there is called Moreno, which is like the original skin color of our people. Which is crazy because I carry the original skin color, but like my features, like my nose stuff is like of a Western person, and my physique and height. So it's like I got like a hybrid of it. And the region that my family are from, like the Bisaya region, the south, and Cebu in particular, and Siquijor, I wanted to be the representation of that. And I was like, I can do this. And as soon as I put into the universe, I was approached and offered a contract the first time I went there, an 18-month contract with the biggest brand out there. And I was like, but I was coming back to the UK with the mindset of like being a millionaire and doing all the business stuff. And then halfway through the year, after I did the Africa and all that stuff, I was like, I'm going to do that contract, man. It makes so much more sense. My life would be better out there. I want to be there. So I just made that decision. And when I made that decision, I was so blessed and lucky that another brand that I really, really love working with, they offered me, I did a 3-month contract with them, then they offered me a 6-month contract. And it's like enough financially to support myself and my family type thing. So I was like, because the pound goes so much further in it. So I was like, that's at least minimum 6 months that I've got to try this goal. But as soon as the 6 months, I went out there, had meetings with all the top agencies. I didn't know, like, even if people ask me how I did it now, I don't really know how I did that. I just reached out, people reached out to me, just manifested it. And I spent 2 days in like the big city, going to meetings. And I sat down with like the biggest agency. They represent like the equivalent of like Brad Pitt's of the Philippines.
Wow.
And I was like, my name's Shaun, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I want to be the first Moreno. I don't want to do anything out of brand. This is my brand and this is who I am. And they just like offered me it there and then. I went away, told my mom, spoke to my family. They were like, because they're more like, they know all this stuff. They like, because I was raised a lot in England. I don't know about the acting industry and model industry out there. And they were shocked. They were like, yo, they're offering you this. I'm like, yeah, do it. So then I signed with them. Then there's like a 12-man team handling me. And it's not just like, there's Shaun Pelayo and then there's like the brand Shaun Pelayo and then they handle all of it. It's sick. And it's just like, but they didn't even try and take away my other contract. So the other contract, the 15-month, the one that was offered 18, then offered me a 15-month contract, negotiating it all myself, signed with them. And that's like, being with them is like a shortcut to stardom out there. Because if you're associated as I should say a bench model, if you're associated as a bench model out there, bench is huge out there. Mm. So it's like, if people don't even know me for being me, they'll know me as the bench model. They'll be like, that's a Shaun Pelayo bench model, or like they want pictures just because I'm a bench model. Mm. And then the first fashion show I walked, like I always have imposter syndrome because I was like, you get there, and I never walked like fashion shows even in England, maybe a few small ones, but not like, I'm not a fashion catwalk person. That's not my style of modeling. They were like celebrities and then loads of models. I thought I was a model, so I was going there. They're like, no, you're with the celebrities. I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, like when we rehearsed it and did the walk, whatever, the celebrities are actually like full-on celebrities out there. So I'm like in videos with them, which is shortcutting my name and who I am. Because I was the only one that's Moreno with tattoos as well. It's just like, wow, there. And then I did an underwear shoot for them, which again, I was a bit concerned with because I was like, nah, is this a bit fruity, like white underwear? But I thought like Ronaldo's done it, David Beckham's done it, yeah. Mark Wahlberg's done it, like why can't I do it? Yeah. So I just did it. And I wrote in my group chat first, my squad chat, and I was like, yo man, is this fruity? And I was like, nah, I'm like, let's go, do it. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. So I did that, and then they're in stores now.
Put it this way, bro. No one's asking me to stick a pair of pants on for a picture, so
yeah,
fair play.
It's weird, I haven't worn pants ever. I always wore boxers since I was a kid probably. But yes, I did all that, and then so now my life is just pretty sick out there, man. Like, I got a beautiful home there, live on a beautiful island, and I've just got to make content every day. And then when they need me for shoots, they call me and I go there. And then my whole marketing is like Shaun Pelayo, Moreno, island boy from the province. And then through that, like through TikTok, these other people found me and they were like, oh, we need you for this commercial. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And then they were like, it's for a car company. You just have to be the island guy that you are. And they just, like, literally, they got paid to just do all the fun stuff, like go on waterfalls, dive in, all that stuff. And I was like, bro, that's crazy. And then before I left, I did the Isuzu commercial, like a promo for them as well, which is cool, man, because it's like I'm on my island and then I take the boat and the flight to the main city. I live in a city for like 2-3 days where you can party and whatnot. Then I just go back to my piece. And then when I'm at my piece, I just have to make like 2 reels for Fashion Over a week and 1 post. And it's not hard. Just go out and just shoot it. So it's like, it's pretty cool, man.
All the background is naturally there as well. It's not like you haven't got to go to a photo studio. You haven't got to go and find a nice location to shoot. You literally walk down the road, you're on the beach next to a palm tree with a sunset, and there you go. There's your set.
It's perfect, bro. And then I just, it's a sick life, man. So it's made a lot of sense for me to be there. And the biggest thing is the fact I'm making a difference for my people as well and putting my island on the map. And it's been like noticed as well, which is like my whole purpose is to be the face of change. And already, like, I got like I just did a front cover magazine, came out yesterday. I haven't posted it yet. And then, like, before I left, I came out in the papers and it said like Shaun Pelayo. How did they word it? It was a sick word, and it was like something like is it arrowheading? No, the thing of change, of like the darker Filipinos being accepted again, not again, for the first time, which is sick, man. So it's like trying to make history, especially as a male, because like I think 2 of the other females are Miss Philippines 2024. She's a black and Filipino mix, and she just won Miss Universe. And then we got this other Morena female model that's just got the cover of something as well. So it's happening, and it's sick to see. Because especially, you know, like all the little children and little boys and stuff on my island, they're all the same colour as me, and they don't see anyone like me, anyone like us on them posters anywhere or on the TV.
Becoming a role model, basically.
Yeah, so it's sick, man. And I'm really like, my people on my island, like they're all the videos I've done, all the interviews and podcasts I've done in the main big city and with the big like names and stuff, they I always mention Sikihor and stuff. So then the island reposts what I say and stuff, and then it's just through word of mouth and through just going to, I make sure I go to all like the events on my island, and I'm always there for everything.
What's the difference? What would you say the main differences are between living in the UK and living in the Philippines?
So many, man. Caring. I feel like in the UK, no one really cares about each other.
That's the truth.
It's the truth, man. Out there, like, everyone's really, really loving and caring and happy.
Much more community.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I said the example earlier, but I say again now. But like, in England, at one point, everyone was on Anthony Joshua's dick, man. Like, he was the golden child of the UK. Like, he couldn't do anything wrong. We used to, like, when I watched him fight, we'd be outside the pub with the window. Like, he was just packed. Everyone loved him. As soon as he lost a fight and has some chinks in his armor, half the nation changes. They're like, he's washed up. He's a drug dealer. All this stuff. Manny Pacquiao, he can do anything. He can, and we all support him. Whenever I see another Filipino doing anything, I support them straight away, just because of the fact they're Filipino and we're proud people. And I feel like it's the same reciprocated. They support me because they see me putting it on the map so much and representing all the time. And I think it's measurable as well, because like the amount of DMs I get that is noticing my journey and what I've done, especially in my region, it's like it's a sick feeling, man. Every time I get a DM, which is like most days now, it like just fuels my fire wanting to do it more, because it is quite like nerve-wracking, isn't it? Like moving to a whole new place and just walking a fashion show in front of thousands of people, or like doing loads of stuff, man, like auditions and castings and like just mad stuff like that's not in the norm that you do. Like everything I do out there is amplified as well, because I'm supposed to be this what I'm trying to be. Sorry, I am this person. It's like if I took my little cousin for her like school, what's it called, her graduation thing, but because it's me, it's like all eyes on me. And then for my community, like, can you ask Shaun if he can be a judge at this or like this and that? And it's like loads of people watching, so it's a lot of pressure, but it's sick, and I'd rather have that than not have it.
Yeah, you're really valued out there, clearly.
Yeah, and I value them as well, so it's like sick.
So when you're in the Philippines, do you really stand out?
Yeah.
Because when I see your social media, you're taking pictures with hundreds of people every day. Most of the people are short,
tiny. You're
really tall.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
There's not many tattoos on other people. You're covered in tattoos.
Which is strange, because that was what the Spanish did when they brought Christianity. They got rid of all our tattoos. When they first came to the Philippines, we was like called the land of the painted ones.
Really?
Like it was all like tribal. Like in the mainlands, you get tattoos for your your status in the community. And then in the mountain lands, you get headhunter tattoos. It's tribal, it's fighting and stuff. But then obviously when Christianity got brought over, that just take over our language and everything and told us not to have tattoos anymore.
Speaking of tattoos, I seen a video of you going to get a traditional tattoo.
Yeah, that's from Apple Wang Odd.
I want you to talk me through that whole process, start to finish, like going there and everything.
Sick. So it started like when I was 19, actually. So when I was 21, I had my final dissertation at uni. And my dissertation within it was tattoos in the sports industry and the effects on employability. And within that, you do like a research method. So I had to like do like a background check on tattoos and stuff. So I learned about the Philippines and this lady called Apple Wang Odd, who
say that slower.
Like Apple Wang Odd.
Okay.
In Bascalan, in like North Luzon, I think, North Luzon. But yeah, she's the last living traditional artist that used to tattoo like real warriors and stuff. And like for me, getting a tattoo part was a dream back then because I hadn't been back to the Philippines in ages at that point. So then when I came as a grown man that had like a bit of finances that I could afford to do stuff, I was like, no matter what on this trip, I'm going there, like with or without anyone, I'll go there. And then literally my island's in the south and I had like a week left and I was like, I need to get there. So I just literally went on Facebook that night, looked for all these different ways of getting there, and I managed to find someone, DM them that night, and I was like, how much is it? And they said the price that people would pay to rent out like an 8-seater for like 8 people divided. Obviously, the pound goes so much further. I was like, how much is it if I just rent the whole thing to myself? And they were like, they said the price. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. I don't care. Like we would spend that on trainers and Nando's here type stuff. I'm doing it. So I end up just the next day, got a boat from Siquijor to Dumaguete, then flew from Dumaguete to Manila, then got a 10-hour taxi, that private taxi, all the way to Bascalan. Then you have to get trek to the mountains. Like it's like above the clouds. It's sick, man. So you trek above the mountain to their village, and then on arrival, I got tattooed by her granddaughters because they said that she's not tattooing anyone anymore for them days. So I was like gutted, and I was like, at that point, my heart sank, and I was like, okay, I need a direct descendant from her. Like I want it to be from her blood because when I tell the story in the future or to my kids, it needs to be from Apple Wang Odd. So her granddaughter did the original, like the serpent eagle and the other symbol, and then Apple Wang Odd was in the village. So I was just like, please, just tell them like how far I've come, tell them my journey, that I really want to see her. And they were like, just out of sudden, it happened really fast. They were like, yeah, she's ready, she can see you. And I was so like concerned, so we just walked all the way to her because she turned away everyone that day. And then when you greet your elders in the Philippines, like people you respect, you have to like do manapod, so you put their hand to your forehead. So I did that, and then I was like, I don't speak her language. Her language is, they speak a mad language out there. I don't even know what it's called, like Papangan or something. So some tribal stuff, and then the translating, and then all of a sudden the lady that was with me that was helping me translate, she smiled at me. She was like, they're gonna do it, she's gonna do it right now, get the stuff. And then she literally got the seat, got the thing, and she did it for me there and then, it was crazy because normally she has to test your manhood, like she has to like grab your balls to see if you're worthy. Like,
what is that like?
I don't know, they say that's a secret how she lives so long.
So the key to living long is
grabbing coffee. Apparently if you watch it on TikTok as well, it looks awkward.
So you're going to die young or old?
I'm going to probably die tomorrow.
Sorry, continue.
But yeah, it was a sick thing, man. And then when I got that done, it was like I filmed it. And when I posted it, the video did like 25 million views across platforms, Instagram and TikTok. And that one post got me 70k followers on Instagram and 100 and something K on TikTok, which was crazy because like for so many months, about 2 months something, every time I checked my notifications, it was just like the maximum every single time. And when it stops, you're like, it feels normal again. Like because you get used to it for that. Then I'm like, I can imagine that's what like celebrities feel like having that many. But it was sick, man. And that video was kind of what sparked like getting loads of Filipino community behind me. Because even when I came back to England, I was indulged in the Filipino community then. Like I joined the basketball league, Filipino one, and I started going to all the barrio fiestas, and then I was just like a part of it all. That's crazy.
What is it that you love so much about being in the Philippines?
The peace, man. The peace and happiness.
How important is peace?
I learned at a later age it's really, really important, man. If you would have asked me this like a
30.
year ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, 30. I literally at 30, bro. Because I seen a quote that says that there's no success without peace of mind. Which I think is true, man.
Yeah, I hear that. What is success if you can't enjoy it?
Yeah.
If you can't live peacefully and think clearly, what's the point in having, well, what most people class as success would be money, isn't it? So
Yeah.
what's the point in having all the money in the world if you can't think straight? You can't relax. You can't switch off.
That was my God. I never actually realised that you said it just now. That's my problem for so many years. I just couldn't switch off because you feel bad. You feel like, oh, someone out there is working harder than me. Like, and now I'm at a stage where like, I know that I do well in what I'm doing. And when I'm on my island, I'm not being productive. I don't mind not being productive at 24 hours of the day, 24, like, how many weeks in a year, sorry. It's just like, just relax and just be happy and at peace. And it's like, I'm not really chasing it anymore. I'm attracting it more now, which is the biggest difference.
I'm still not there. I can't, like, as soon as I stop or I'm not doing something productive, I have this horrible self-guilt. Like, I need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Like, why am I sat down watching this TV program? I haven't earned this. Like, I'm not where I need to be yet. And I think it comes with age.
Yeah.
I think in the last year I have slowly got a little bit better, but I still have that self-guilt if I'm not being productive.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I still do get it, but just not as much. I feel. Because I think it's a good thing as well, having that.
It can be.
Yeah. Even like, for what we're trying to achieve, when you're trying to achieve greatness, I think that's a good thing. I was listening to a podcast the other day and they're talking about imposter syndrome. And he says that it's healthy to feel imposter syndrome every year, every 18 months.
Just not every day.
Yeah. Just to feel like you don't belong where you should do and like you should be. I think that's a good thing. Have you ever asked yourself when was the last time you felt it, imposter syndrome?
No, I've never asked myself when the last time I felt it was. What's imposter syndrome to you, though?
So, like, when I told you off camera, like, when I got invited to that fight camp and having, like, security escort me to a press conference when all these people are here to ask me questions. And I'm like... And then all want pictures of me afterwards and I'll sign some gloves. I'm like, why am I here? Like, in my head, I'm like, I'm just a little kid from a flat. That's just like, why do you not care about this? That's how I felt. Like, I felt it a lot when I was away still, like many times. Like one of the times when the day after the fashion show, like, because they put you in like a sick hotel and stuff. And then I'm like, this is crazy. This is my life. Like, I'm in a sick hotel in a sick city on the other side of the world. People know who I am and I'm walking in and like, you get scanned in through security, then you have like a changing room, then it's like your own makeup bit, and then they're just treating you this way, and then you leave and there's people waiting outside to take pictures, and I'm like, fam, like, this is mad. This is so mad. Like, why? It's weird.
Would you say you're living the dream? I'd say you're living the dream.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
I'd say not the dream. I don't think that exists. I say you're living your dream.
Yeah.
Because when we spoke around a year and a half ago and we sat and had this conversation, you was very adamant on manifesting what you wanted and being able to live a free life. Back then you wasn't living a free life. You was still on the grind, if you like. And obviously the grind never stops. But I'd say now, listening to you speak now, as opposed to back then, you seem to be living your dream.
Yeah. I'll agree to that, actually. But even prior to that, the life I was living then was a dream, like a few years ago, before that.
You didn't stop and think about it like that, though?
Nah, you don't realise that until you're out. Probably next time we speak in, whether like next year, 2 years, life be different.
To the Philippines.
Yeah. Life be different. We realise that we're like, this is our new dream.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was saying like, your future self is watching you right now for your memories. So like to make the right decisions. I thought that was impactful when I heard that.
Doing everything that you've done now, and going back to the Philippines, which we're going to touch on in a minute, what's the most fun part of all of this? So you've been working so hard from when you was young to get to where you are now. When would you say you had the most fun? What's the thing that you look back on and think, that time was so cool?
That's a sick question.
Take your time.
it's gonna be what you said earlier. It's the whole journey, like the whole journey of when I was like super broke, and when I had like it was a specific moment, like period of life when I had pretty much when I had the Yaris. The Yaris was a symbol of what I was at, and it wasn't just that it was like some banger Yaris that had like I had a leaking sunroof. I had to wear a coat inside my car, and even the car after that and the car after that were just like £200 cars from Moseley or Balls Heath, whatever. Like just like you buy in a day, and I would literally have like I had a wiper that had string attached to it, so when I drive I can pull the wiper, and I'll be like just manifesting shoots with I had no music obviously, put them headphones in. I'll listen to these specific Kevin Gates songs, and I'll just manifest my whole life. And I had a girlfriend that got the heartbreak one, and she was with me through all them tough times. And I used to promise her all this stuff. I was like, I promise you, like I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be on this. I'm gonna do this. Like, just trust me, it's gonna be all good. And we literally, them times when I used to film in clubs, she used to sleep in the car outside and wait for me. And then like she was on her hustle as well, so I'd go to her music videos, like hold the her bags on the side and chaperone, and it was just a sick grind. And but I was so happy. Not that I'm not happy now, but that part of the journey, that was sick, man. And then the whole part of like, even prior to that, doing like club promo, whilst I was trying to leave my job, every Friday night we used to promote in the club in Arcadian. I'll be working Monday to Friday in a school, 8 till 4. Then from like 4 till 10, I'll be doing outreach and free shoots and just trying to do anything to get any like, anyone take a picture of me, anything like that. And then you do promo. And then on the Friday, we went out every Friday, every Saturday, got random girls and stuff. And then feeling down on the next day, like, why are we not where we want to be, having all these talks and stuff. And then we finally get to where we want to be. And then it's like, no, it's just crazy. It's a crazy thing. And now my circle's so small now. It's the core 6 of us, and then the core 5 or 6, and then it's just like my few other like really good people. But yeah, I don't really. Even today, I was with someone earlier, and I've got the next week and a half before I have to go. Before I go back to the Philippines, I've got the sickest like things. I've got something in Cornwall, and then we go to London for like a wedding and an event. And then we're going to XYZ, doing like cabin in the woods. Then we're doing like, I've got shoots in between all that stuff. It's sick. And I've got like good people around me, already paid for and everything like that. So all I have to do is just exist now and just have fun. But I had a message this morning. It was like, I might have to fly out and do a shoot, which helped me progress in my career. And the person I was speaking to earlier was like, "Aren't your friends going to be annoyed at you?" I'm like, nah, none of us are built like that. Like, we all understand our careers come first and what we're trying to achieve greatness. Even like Troy, when he was supposed to come out to the Philippines, like maybe 2 months ago or something, we had it planned for a while, and he's coming out with one of my other friends like that. And the day before he was supposed to fly out, he had a big music video come through with a big artist, and he was just like, "Boys, there's no way around it. I have to stay. Just I'll join you like a week later. Like, my career comes first." None of us could say anything. We're like, yeah, we was excited, and we've been talking about it for ages in the group chat, but we get it. And
I think that's the great thing about having a strong brotherhood.
yeah.
Like, we could have had the sickest plans this weekend, but like, let's say he has an opportunity come up where it outweighs the fun. It's like, but go and smash it, bro.
Yeah.
You need to go and do this. Whereas if you're in the wrong kind of circles, they're going to be like, "Oh, you're boring.
Yeah.
Why are you going to do that? We had plans to do this."
Yeah.
And the plans that you've got aren't going to benefit you in the future. It's not going to change your situations or how you live. Whereas if you've got a good brotherhood or a good circle of friends, it doesn't have to be men, and they're egging you on to do the things that are going to progress you in life, that's so much more important. That's so powerful, I believe. We was talking earlier in the other room before the cameras were on, saying I compete with my friends.
Yeah.
And that'll sound mad saying it until I explain it. So me and my friends and my brother, and we compete with each other. So like, if someone's smashed a goal this week and I haven't smashed a goal, I'm like, shit, I need to work harder. And it's not compete in terms of I want to do better than them. It's like we all motivate each other to do more and to become better people and more successful and that kind of thing. And I think that's so important.
That's what that's the only thing that I was missing in the Philippines, was like a strong, not to gender it again, but like a masculine energy around me. So I think that's when I'm the best version of myself. when I've got someone to compete with, like you're talking about. And the guy, one of my friend that came out to me, he's been on a mad diet plan because his other friend took dieting seriously for the first time. So he came out with abs, and I was like, fuck, how do you do that? And it wasn't like I'm jealous of it. Well, I'm not jealous, envious of it, sorry. I'm doing what you do. So I jumped on his thing, and then I'm following his thing. And then when I had the business partner, for example, he was on his laptop working 24/7. If I came downstairs, I was just like, oh, like it was like that feeling like now I have to work as well, which is a sick feeling because you get more stuff done. But yeah, that's so key, man. I think that's where you see, when I visit like my childhood friends, they're still like my really good friends. We're like a brotherhood that we grew up with and played basketball together. But a lot of them have just got kids and like normal jobs and stuff, and they're happy. I think they're happy. They say they're happy. But you can definitely tell, like, you know, like the lack of like a what's the word, like competitive like spirit is just gone. They're just content and happy with their wives and their children, and it's kind of weird though. Like, do you sometimes wish that you could be content without chasing greatness and just be normal?
No.
Do you not?
No. I think it keeps me alive, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I went through a period in my life. I used to have a good job. When I have a good job now, but I work for myself.
Yeah.
I used to have a good job. It paid well. You worked there as well. And then I did go through a period in my life and I thought, what's the point in all this? Why am I stressing day and night to try and build these careers? And I could just go and get a set wage there. I could live a nice average life. And then I thought about that for a minute. And then I thought, I'd be so bored.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be so bored because for some people that's life, and that's cool if that's what your life is. But for me and people like yourself and people like my brother, we're so there's like a tick that never stops.
Yeah,
it never stops. So for me, no, I think that where I am now and what I'm doing now is exactly where I'm meant to be.
Yeah,
for now.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's weird, isn't it? Like the thought of being able to be happy without constantly chasing greatness and constantly being in comfortable situations. I haven't experienced it, but I can imagine it's just
peaceful.
Like, yeah,
peaceful.
I'm like, yo, my friend, he just like, he's got his favorite TV show, and he just goes home, and his missus makes him dinner, and they sit with their children, and they're content. And I'll visit, and I'm just like, I could never do this. Even like my idea of the family that I want, it doesn't look like this.
What does your family look like? Your future family?
I want, like, in an ideal situation, which is looking like very realistic, we'll have a house, a big property, or like just multiple houses in the same area where all the wives and the children will just be together and being raised in the community. My mum there, my partner there, my brother's partner, my friends, that we all lived like, everyone's just like, the women are raising children and everything like that. Not because they're forced to, because they want to. And then I'll still provide and protect, go out, work, come back. But I don't personally want to be, this is going to sound crazy, especially if you clip it, but I personally don't want to be like the one that just changes nappies and like does that stuff. I don't have a passion for that. And I might change whenever I'm aware that people say to me that when I have my own son in my hands, I'll change my mind. But I don't know.
You're manifesting that there, my own son.
Yeah, I want sons.
Me too.
Yeah. My first son, you're like, so I want to call my first son Bjorn. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Bjorn.
I swear you said that before.
Yeah.
I swear you said that. I swear you said that to me before.
I think it'll be sick. My first son could be Bjorn.
Just explain that for people that don't understand.
Oh, Bjorn?
Yeah.
Oh, Bjorn Ironside from Vikings. Like, when I say Vikings changed my whole life, we could talk about this forever right now. Like, Vikings is my most passionate subject, man.
Might as well mark him up.
Yeah. But when I say, like, changed my whole philosophy and mindset and everything, like, the trust that they put in the gods and in the faith they have in their fates and stuff, and, like, Floki going on a boat, and after he lost everyone, he's like, I'm just going to be guided by the gods, go on a boat with no sail, it ends up in the land of the gods. Things like this, yeah, like, it sounds a bit far-fetched and stuff, and the fact that they're so stoic and yeah, so it's just like a stoic society, innit? And then even like the story of Ragnar, yeah, like I think this is admirable. So he's like a farmer that sailed west, became the Earl of Kattegat. Most people stop there, like, stop there. Why is it in him? Why has he got that innate desire to conquer? He goes to Middlesex, Sussex. Because stop there, like you've done it, you've established it, you've done this for your people. And then he goes to Francia, and then he gets snaked by his brother. He like his whole story, and he's even in his death, he's constantly questioning things. He's so curious. Does he question his gods? Da, 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 da. I just think it's sick, man. And how they view things, like if they lose a baby, they're like, it wasn't meant to be, it was for the gods. And not that I think that happened in the series. I'm not actually saying.
It's just a good outlook.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like,
it's a good way of looking at things.
I think it's just
a healthier way of looking at things.
Yeah.
Well, that was the best 2 minutes of your day, wasn't it?
Yeah. I love Vikings, man. And I did DNA test, yeah, and I found out I'm 30% Scandinavian.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Did that make you happy?
Yes, bro. My life made sense after that. So yeah, I just need to get a Vikings tattoo now that I'm there.
Going back to what your future family looks like, that's very tribal.
Yeah.
Very, I don't know, what would you call it? I'd call it tribal if you was to just live in a small village community of just your people.
Yeah, I think that'd be sick. When you love that, like if you and your brother and like your best mate and everything, like if you
I'd love nothing more than that, by the way. I'm agreeing with you. How important and how much do you believe in manifestation? Because I feel like you've used this forever.
Yeah, but I lived it, man. Before I knew what the word meant, it's mad because I used to like, I've always spoke the way I've always spoke the way I speak.
Let him land.
Yeah, I always spoke the way I speak. And before I heard the word manifestation or about the secret or things like this, when I was a kid, like, I wanted to be a basketball player. I had basketball players all above my bunk bed. Like, the whole ceiling was just Slam magazines ripped and put there. And until I did it, and then it just, people talk about this, like, manifestation stuff, and it just, like, I live it. Like, you know, before I go to bed, I like, the life I live now, I thought about this so deeply in detail the years prior when I was in them cars, when I was putting my headphones in, and it's just like I'll really, like, for me, I use music a lot, so like so many certain songs, specific songs are like attached to certain memories because I manifested it to that song to the point where I'm like, mainly when I drive actually, or if I'm riding my bike or whatever, like for like 2 hours I could drive and I'll be inside a future memory, without realizing all my hairs are standing up on my arms and stuff. I'll get to my destination about, what, 2 hours has gone. Like, in my head, I've just been on set with The Rock, and I know what I was wearing, I know, like, where I came from, what I pulled up in, like, the smell in the room, everything. But it's not like it's an intentional thing that I set out to do. My mind just does it all the time with everything. Like, it's crazy because, like, I have, like, certain omens as well that when I'm thinking it, I'll see. Like, one of my things I know I actually spoke about on a podcast is, like, I don't even know how it came about, but, like, a white butterfly for me is, like, whenever I manifest something, I see a white butterfly. We're looking at each other. You see white butterflies?
Carry on.
Yeah, sorry. And then it's crazy because, like, I can be in the maddest situation, in the maddest country, like, somewhere random. Like, for example, when I was in Vietnam, when I was on that show building a bridge, at one point in the show, this guy said to me, like, yo, we could win this. I looked at him like, yo, we're going to win this. And I was on the edge of, like, this bamboo, and it was, like, more like in the distance was the thing was building the bridge to. And out of nowhere, it's December in Vietnam, a white butterfly just flew past my face and flew the direction of where the bridge was going to go. At that point, I knew, okay, I've just spoke it. It's going to happen. We're going to win this. And we won it. Even when I make these decisions, yeah, like last second going to go see Applewang Wood in the mountains. When I climbed the mountain, you turn a corner. I was in a field of white butterflies randomly. And I'm like, every decision I made up until this moment, I was supposed to make. And it's so reassuring. So, like, I could, like, even, it happened, like, as even, where was I, like, 3 days ago, so I don't know, I was in Cornwall, I don't know what I was doing, but there was, like, 2 butterflies just landed there, but I don't even mention it to anyone, I don't really tell anyone this stuff, I'm just there, I'm just like, okay, I was supposed to be here, this conversation I'm having, I'm supposed to have, because I've seen that, and it's just, like, it's really, really reassuring, but people have different omens, but that was just mine, I don't know why that's my thing, I don't even know where it came from, it just started happening.
So what do you feel when you see a white butterfly? Like, why do you think it's a white butterfly?
I don't know why it was a white butterfly, but I feel like... So, one of my friend's little sisters said that deja vu is that every decision you made up until that very moment was correct because you've lived that moment and you're on the path. If you know what I mean. So when you have deja vu, that's just you in the right moments. All decisions you made up until then was correct. That's how I feel when I see a white butterfly. But in the moment, it's not just when I rant, like, because sometimes there's loads of white butterflies about, but like sometimes I think of something and like I would ask for guidance or ask for a sign when I'm praying or manifesting, and then I'll not long see a thing after that. It's crazy, man.
What do you believe in terms of spirituality?
I think there's an expression called omnius, which is like when you take the best parts of every religion that you feel when you kind of create your own.
Wow.
So yeah. So
I've always felt that, but I've never known what that word is, and I've never understood what it was.
I've seen it. I've seen it, but that when I heard it as well, I was like, that's what I am. So it's like, there's so many beautiful parts about religion, but also there's so many like horrible parts that you can misread and use to control people and use to like use it against people.
Divide.
Yeah, it's easy to divide and conquer religion, but yeah, I surrender to a higher power, and it's crazy actually because I had a best friend growing up, best friend, and he even came to the Philippines with me when I was younger. He lived opposite where I live. We literally like I walked to his house like proper like a brother, and he came to uni when I went to uni, but he smoked a lot of weed. Like we both used to smoke, but he smoked way more. So I had to play basketball, so he just did it all day, every day, to a point where he got psychosis. And then when he got psychosis, he got with this girl that was like a 7-day event. What they're called? It's like a cult within Christianity, and they're the ones that preach on the roads, like that. And then she started preaching all this stuff to him, and then my best friend changed. He stopped going gym. He stopped eating certain food. He stopped being himself. He was just this because he was in such a vulnerable position for someone to like brainwash with whatever they want to brainwash him with, and that happened to be the thing. And so when she started doing that, he was like, "Bro, I watched this documentary and it's all about this and that." And I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it with you." Watch it with him. And I'm like, "All right, now listen to this." Then I'd find something about atheism, like from Ricky Gervais or something. And the more I kind of delved into it, the more I kind of believed in it. I became an atheist. I was like, too many things are wrong with religion. And then like that point in my career where I still hadn't taken off yet, I was filming, and me and my friend went to go film one of our now friends in Thailand. And this guy, he was at the time, he was a 21-year-old self-made millionaire from Tottenham, inspirational. And he's flying residence class Emirates. So he's like got an apartment on the plane. And I'm sitting there with him. And then my other friend, Troy, he just became established with directing. So he's working with like, at the time, like Mist. That was like, whoa, Mist. But, and then now I'm sitting in like literally an apartment on the plane on the way to Thailand with these two. And they're both giving thanks to the higher power and God. Every rapper I listen to, every athlete I listen to, all give the thanks to God. And I started speaking to them. They started telling me like more and more about it. So I was like, you know what? Let me have a conversation with God. Let me pray. I started praying on that trip, and my life just started changing slowly. Not to Christian God, not to Allah, anything like that. I was literally just praying in my head to whatever in the morning and evenings, and then I don't know if it was manifesting or speaking or if we're our own God or whatever. But when I surrendered myself to higher power and I started getting the omens and the signs and stuff and the guidance, it was unexplainable. It was like the most unexplainable things would happen. And to the point where I stopped even telling people. I was just like, I'll ask for guidance or a sign, and a literal physical sign will be right in front of me, guiding me exactly what to do next. So I was like, okay, it's real. And since that moment, I went hand in hand with kind of like when I manifested my career and taken off. And then, so now, I pray every morning, every night, every time I drive, or not every time I drive, but every morning, every night. And
on the odd drive.
On the odd drive, yeah. When as soon as it comes into my head, I'll turn the music off, do my prayer, and then continue, keep it moving.
Yeah. So, you're off to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah. Do you think you'll come back to the UK?
Yeah, to visit, but not to ever live again.
Not in a rush?
No. Probably, once I achieve all my goals in the Philippines, I don't know. Probably America next or something. But for now, I'm just happy in the Philippines, doing what I set out to do.
Anything you want to finish up on?
Nah, man, just I really appreciate you guys. And fucking the last podcast I watched of your what you did was sick as well. I'm excited to see your journey and everything that you do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We're excited to see yours.
Yeah, man. We'll stay in touch. We'll keep doing this
100%.
every year or two. We'll just get back together no matter where. And also, you and your missus, if you ever come to the Philippines, or whenever you're ready, bro. Literally, whenever you're ready, just come. If maybe still holiday for like 3 weeks, something first. See if you like it, which I'm sure you will.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will because we're sick of this place as much as you.
Yeah.
Shout out England. But bro, honestly, you're inspiring. I watch your stories all the time. I don't skip. I skip a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I don't skip yours because I always think you're doing some sick, inspiring stuff. So yeah, man, just keep manifesting, keep doing what you're doing, and you're gonna get to exactly where you need to be. I really believe that.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for your time, bro.
Appreciate
and,
you.
Have a safe flight to the Philippines.
Thank you.